What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 9 of Cooking Around the Planet, the show where we learn about and cook a recipe from every single country until we've done them all. If you're new here, I'm Austin. That's my wife, Jess. And last but not least, the star of the show, Otto. If you've seen an episode before, welcome back. If this is your first time, my wife and I, and even Otto, share a love for travel, food, and culture, and that's what inspired this show and what it's all about. So welcome into our home. On last week's episode, we had the pleasure of learning about Nigeria and even tried our hand at jollof rice. We had an absolute blast, and that smoky rice dish still is in our minds from that first bite, and some even say we're still trying to clean the pot. So if you haven't had a chance, go check that episode out. It was really fun. But with little time to spare, we move forward to week 9, episode 9. Wow, we're so close to 10. It's really hard to believe. Anyways, this week we head to the other side of the world, literally the other side of the world from where we live right now. They're even 12 hours ahead of us in time, living in a whole different realm. It's wild to think. We're headed down under to a beautiful country with beautiful land and sea and everything in between. And we couldn't be more excited. We are headed to Australia. Let's get right into the episode. Alright, so by the title, you've probably figured out what we're gonna make tonight. And we're gonna try to make some Aussie meat pies. When I was researching for what to cook, it was just like right in my face. Aussie meat pie this, Aussie meat pie that. Yeah, you get one after a night at the pub. It's this flaky pie stuffed with a minced meat with a gravy. Salty, hearty, comforting. It checks off all the boxes for me, so I'm super excited about it. Anything comforting, Jess loves. Warm. Anything warm, she loves. So let's get right into it. Got this recipe from the One Pot Chef Show YouTube channel. He's got like a 3-minute video. This dish right here comes together quick. It's super flavorful, super easy. If I mess it up, I think I might have just jinxed myself. There's crust and there's a pie crust involved. Things get a little dicey when I get around pies. Holes start, tearing. I don't know. Anyways, let's get right into it. Like I said, super simple. We got meat, ground beef. We got beef broth, cornstarch, Worcestershire. Once again, change the name. Ketchup and onions. By the way, before we get into this, just set your oven to 420 degrees Fahrenheit. I think that's 220 degrees Celsius for most of the world. I think the United States might be the only people that use Fahrenheit. It's pretty wild. So, we got a pan with a little bit of oil in it. We're gonna go right in with 1 onion chopped. Love to hear that sound. We're right into it here on another week. Cooking Around the Planet. Just diving right in. We're actually taking these to a friend's house after this, so hopefully we won't have to stop and get. Oh, there's no meat pies. Actually, what's the name of the place?
Kookaburra.
Kookaburra, which is a coffee shop, right?
Yep. In St. Augustine. About, an hour and a half, 2 hours from us?
They actually have meat pies. They sell coffee and meat pies. So I think it's the first meat pie I've ever seen in the States.
Yeah, definitely.
So we're just gonna sweat this onion out a little bit. About a couple minutes. All right, been sauteing those for a couple minutes. We're gonna go right in with 1 pound of ground beef. Just gonna brown that up, get those onions mixed in with it real nice. About 5 to 8 minutes. All right, now that this is all browned up, we're gonna go in with a tablespoon of cornstarch. This is gonna help that gravy thicken up once we get all the other ingredients in there. So 3/4 cup or a cup, give or take, of beef stock. Next we're gonna go in with about 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire. Then we're gonna go in with 3/4 cup of ketchup. Stir everything in here real nice. Finally, we're gonna season it with some salt and pepper. Merge all this in. I'm gonna drop this down to low, keep it on a simmer for about 8 to 10 minutes. And that's about it as far as the filling of this Aussie meat pie. While this simmers, I'm gonna throw it over to Jess to introduce you to the beautiful country of Australia.
All right, we are ready to take on Australia. Australia is the only country in the world that makes up an entire continent. It is the smallest continent in the entire world, but the 6th largest country. With a landmass of almost 2.9 million square miles, it is almost the same size as the United States, just a tad smaller. There are 6 states that make up Australia: New South Wales, Queensland, Victoria, Western Australia, South Australia, and the island of Tasmania. There are 2 internal territories in Australia: the Northern Territory and the Australian Capital Territory, where the capital, Canberra, is located. Australia also has 6 external territories: Norfolk Island, Coral Sea Islands, Cocos or Keeling Island, Christmas Island, Ashmore and Cartier Island, Heard Island, and McDonnell Island. Australia's landmass is only 3% populated, with 85% of the population living among the edges of the country within 31 miles of the coast. In the northern coastal region, you can find a temperate and even tropical climate with rainforest and wetlands. The east and western parts of the country are considered subtropical climate. The southeast region is considered semi-tropical with a cooler and drier climate. When you move a little further inland, you'll find grasslands and a semi-arid climate. When you move into the interior of the country is where you'll find the famous outback, covering 5.6 million square kilometers, which is more than 70% of the country's entire landmass. This area is mostly unpopulated, with only 5% of the country's population living within the outback region. Australia is the land of rich rainforest, vast deserts, and did you know, even snowy mountains? The Australian Alps actually receive more snow every year than the Swiss Alps. A popular place to ski, the mountain ranges have 11 ski resorts and 131 ski lifts.
All right, this has been simmering for about 15 minutes. I did have to add a little more cornstarch to it to thicken it up a little more, but we got a good consistency. We're gonna set it to the side, let it cool. While this cools, I'm gonna send it back over to Jess with some more facts about Australia.
At least 60,000 years before Europeans reached Australia, human habitation of the continent is believed to have begun with the migration of people from land bridges or short sea crossings from what is now Southeast Asia. These indigenous people are referred to as Aboriginal Australians. At the time of British colonization, Aboriginal Australians were complex hunter-gatherers with diverse economies and society, with more than 250 diverse language groups and varying degrees of technology. They were the inventors of the boomerang, which was used as a weapon and for hunting, and also the inventors of the didgeridoo, which is a wooden trumpet-like instrument that is still used to this day. Aboriginal Australians have a wide variety of cultural and artistic practices and spiritual beliefs that make up one of the oldest continuous cultures in this world. Since the start of British colonization in 1788, Aboriginal Australians fought to keep their place and traditions still present in Australia. While they have not had an easy path, from land and children being taken from families and native languages being outlawed. But in the most recent years, the Australian government has made strides to resolve the issues of the past, working toward the creation of new frameworks for representation of Aboriginal and treaty negotiations. The current day population of Australians with Aboriginal descent is currently at 984,000 people.
All right, next step in the Aussie meat pies is we're gonna be making our pie crust. We're gonna be using puff pastries as our top, and we're actually gonna be using pie crust as our bottom. The pie crust is a little thicker, so it'll hold that filling in there a little better. And then the puff pastry, that's gonna be beautiful on the top. Nice and flaky, just is like the puff pastry #1 fan. You can use pie tins, but we had these in the house. we are gonna cut out our bottom. I got this champagne glass that kind of is a little bit bigger than the muffin tin. So once we cut it out, it's gonna have enough room to kind of fill up that. So let's see if our observations are correct. Oh. All right, let's see. First one, go that way. Not too bad.
Yeah, looks good to me.
Could be a little bigger actually, wow. Check this out, innovative.
Boom.
Boom. And then we're going to fill these puppies up. Oh. Oh yeah. Wow, these are gonna be phenomenal. Over here. So before we add the top, I'm gonna take a little egg wash, kind of brush the edges of the bottom layer here for when we put the top on. I think it helps it stick. So hopefully that's the case. And use this later, so don't throw that away. Now we're gonna go in with our puff pastry and put a lid on it. Oh yeah. Look at that, that kind of looks cool. Look at those, I mean, come on. A little egg wash at the top. And lastly, you just want to kind of cut a little vent hole at the top here. Right in the oven for 20 to 25 minutes, or until that puff pastry at the top is golden brown. See you back here soon. So, there's another iconic snack in Australia that everybody knows about. I couldn't find it anywhere close to us, so I ordered some on Amazon. Wasn't sure if it was gonna get here in time for the episode, but Amazon pulled up like 5 minutes ago. Let's check it out. What could it be? Kangaroo?
May I have a pet kangaroo? It's a small kangaroo.
Australian air.
You think?
What could it be? We'll never know. They package it like it was made of glass. It might be. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. Zero idea what this tastes like. I don't know if it's sweet. I don't know if it's salty. No idea. Stay tuned. I think you're supposed to put it on toast.
Okay.
We'll spread. At the end of the episode, we're gonna give this a try.
I'm excited. I'm nervous.
We're gonna head to a commercial break.
In Australia, the population of kangaroos and sheep is estimated to be 3 times the amount of people on the continent. And of course, most all of you have probably heard about the Great Barrier Reef, located off the northeast coast of Australia. It is the world's largest living reef formation and is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world. It is nearly the size of the US state of Texas and can be seen from outer space. There are over 30 species of whales, dolphins, and porpoises, 6 species of turtle, 17 different species of sea snake, and over 1,500 species of fish that call the Great Barrier Reef their home. Australia is home to one of the only mammals that can actually lay eggs, the platypus. With a bill like a duck and webbed feet, but a body and a tail more like a beaver, platypus are very shy animals and usually will go underwater when approached. But if they are attacked and cannot flee, they can actually inject a venom from spurs on their back legs that is strong enough to kill a small animal. Located in Western Australia is a lake called Lake Hillier, and it is known for its bubblegum pink water. The reasoning behind the oddly pink waters is a combination of algae, halobacteria, and microbes that are present in the water. Although with all of that being said, it is safe to swim in, but you will hardly ever see people swimming in the lake because it is very hard to get to and you must acquire permission to access the lake from the Western Australia Department of Environment Conservation. Australia is considered to be one of the best sports nations in all of the world, with rugby, Australian rules football, cricket, and tennis being the most popular. And with as many beautiful beaches as there are in Australia, surfing is basically a way of life for most Australians. There are approximately 2.5 million recreational surfers, 420,000 annual surf contest participants, 107 surf schools, and 2,292 accredited surf coaches in Australia.
All right, so about after 15 minutes of these things cooking, they look done. So we're gonna pop them out. We don't want them to burn. Ho ho ho, yeah. What? Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
The only acceptable celebration when those come out of the oven.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Hot, hot. I forgot it, how they do it. Let's hope they stay together. Oh, what? Sick.
Gorgeous.
Oh man, it's gonna be so freaking good. The time has come. Episode 9. Trying ourselves some Aussie meat pies that might be way too hot.
Scorchers.
We let 10 minutes pass.
Can't wait any longer.
And we can't wait any longer, so we're gonna go in for it.
All right, ready?
Yep. Wasn't too hot, was it?
I want these every morning, every lunch, and every night. I'm gonna get a bigger bite because I didn't get a whole lot of the meat. I was scared it was gonna burn my face
Yeah.
off.
It's a wintertime staple, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
It's so easy. I'm sure there's people have their own, additions to it, different ways about it.
But the fact that it's just like a little handheld snack that is really more than a snack because it's so hearty.
Right.
So good.
Yeah, late night, come home to that.
Oh yeah.
A little hot sauce maybe.
Oh yeah. A little hot sauce if you're feeling saucy. Here you go.
All right, I'm gonna go in for a fresh one. It just looks so great. Comfort.
Yeah.
I just got wrapped in a hug.
Yes. A flaky hug.
An Australian hug. From across the world, they just wrapped their arms around me. And that was beautiful. I'm gonna go in for another hug. But hot, but I wouldn't want it the other way.
Right. Yeah. No, you gotta eat it scorching.
Sweetness from the ketchup, and the saltiness from the savoriness from like the meat and the onion and the salt and pepper. It's like very minimal ingredients. The Worcestershire, you could definitely
Oh yeah. I forgot.
taste that come through. I just remembered that as well. The puff pastry, the flakiness of that, it just, we need more of this in the States.
Yes.
I'll be going to, what's the name of that coffee shop?
Kookaburra.
Kookaburra. If I'm not making them here, I'm gonna drive an hour and a half to get some Kookaburra.
Yes.
Aussie meat pies.
So,
That was amazing. Oh, I did see, we forgot to add, I guess this is like a staple to kind of add. I love ketchup. I love ketchup, so. Yeah. Oh,
I feel like you described it perfectly. A hug.
It's a
It
hug.
is a hug from down under.
A country on the other side of the world, 12-hour time difference hug. They did it through their food, and I'm thankful and grateful. Australia. Add it to the list.
Yeah.
Check it off the list. Add it to our list of the things that we need to get at the grocery store next time, so we always have this stuff stocked up in our pantry, our fridge,
Absolutely.
for a lifetime to come. Can't wait to share this with our friends tonight. They're gonna be stoked on this. I know it right off the bat.
Makes me want to watch some footy.
Makes me want to watch some footy, get into rugby,
Start tackling people.
or tackling people. Rugby needs to be out. There was rugby on
Yes.
somewhere we were at, and I was like, why is this not in America as big as it is over there? Because it's huge over there.
And
It's
so
massive.
fun to watch.
So fun to watch, so super physical. I mean, that's like, the dudes are massive.
And it's just running
Legs.
through walls.
Run through, no helmet. The ball, they're just all good. It looks like a blast to go. And the fans in those stadiums are like on another level. I can't wait to one day potentially experience that
Yes. While eating a meat pie.
while eating a meat pie.
Can't beat that.
10 out of 10.
100%.
Once again, we're on a streak here.
Yeah.
Really fire food.
Yes.
Well, the time has come. One thing left to do on this episode. Actually, stay tuned after we pick from the hat. We're gonna have some Vegemite on toast. But before we do that, we go to the Raised Bucket Hat to see where our fate lies for this coming week.
Where will we go?
Where will we go
One just almost jumped out at me.
in a week? In a week and 1 day from now, what country will we have learned about and cooked the recipe from that we might have never even heard about or even thought about?
On this beautiful earth.
On this beautiful earth, what a blessing it is that this idea came to fruition and we're doing it. Where episode 10 is coming up. Thanks for all the support.
It's been a blast.
It's been an absolute blast.
There's like a whole chunk of them stuck together, so I'm trying to pull them
Episode 10, this is gonna be a special one, I feel it. Big episode.
Pressure's on.
Might get balloons.
apart.
Might get a balloon.
10 balloons?
One balloon. 1 1 and 1 0. 2 balloons.
All right. I think we
The build up is real.
All right.
Here we go.
Where will we begin?
3, 2, 1.
Burundi, Africa.
Back to Africa we go.
Back to Africa. I
Whoa.
hope I pronounced that right. Burundi.
Well,
We'll
good
find
try.
out.
And if, hey,
Never heard of it.
never heard of it either.
Can't wait to learn about it.
Stoked. Episode 10 coming at you. Well, another fun one in the books. Thank you guys so much for your support. And we'll see you back here next week for episode 10 of Cooking Around the Planet. Thanks, guys. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Oh, what do you think, bud? Hey, you're an Australian Shepherd.
Oh, how about that?
You probably had a meat pie before. You been holding out on us this whole time, bud? That's the best, isn't it? All right, as promised, we are gonna try Vegemite. Got some fresh toast. Yeah. We haven't tried it yet. Proof. Whoa, look at that.
Like gelatin, like?
Yeah,
Huh.
like thick jelly.
Interesting.
I was gonna smell it, but I don't want to. 'Cause
Yeah.
it'll give it away. Like I said earlier, I have no idea if this is like sweet or savory. Right. I spread it super easy. Looks like chocolate.
It looks like Nutella.
I'm gonna guess it's not.
I'm nervous.
You nervous?
Yeah. I did not expect that consistency for some reason.
I don't know what I expected. Let me go first.
Yeah.
No smell.
No smell. Is it bad?
It's wild. I don't want to explain it to you because then it's gonna.
Yeah. So.
I can see how I can end up really liking that.
Okay, that's a good
And I'll
sign.
explain later.
Okay.
But this is. I don't know if you're gonna like it.
I'm scared.
It's wild. It's
I
intense.
don't wanna.
You don't have to. It's intense. I would imagine. Oh man, it's small.
How?
It's powerful. It's potent.
Are we... Are we supposed to put that much on?
Yeah.
It's
I
just-
mean, I don't know.
Okay. Mm.
It's wild. Oh, when I swallowed it, kind of like. Whew. That. I don't know if this is it. I don't know if this is what they say in Australia, but I feel to say like, hey, you gotta have some Vegemite that puts hair on your chest. That is what would put hair on your chest. That,
Yeah.
because that is potent.
I feel like that's the equivalent of one of those smelling salts
Yeah, that's
for your taste buds.
So, at first, I said it actually hit me as I was like recording more. Like it's so the ingredients are yeast extract, wheat, barley. So it kind of tastes like beer.
Yes, which I did read a fact that said in prisons Vegemite was banned because you could potentially make alcohol from it, or there was a thought that you could make alcohol. So I didn't really know, but I definitely taste the beer flavor.
No, that's not the reason that I was.
Spoiled beer.
Yeah, that's not the reason that I originally said I might like it. Is because it was super salty. I'm like,
Yeah.
the first taste was like super salty. I love anything salty. And I'm like, oh, and then it just settled in, and then that barley and whoo, it's intense. I'll say
Super
the least. I would
intense.
imagine that's not. We're not alone in thinking it's intense. It's probably a much acquired taste. So we did it. Hey, it has B1, B12, and B3 in it.
Oh, well, now we have to eat it. Wow.
But don't say we didn't. We tried it. Much respect to those
Much
who
respect.
eat this.
The people of Australia are strong.
They're strong and they have probably superpower after eating that. 'Cause that hits you right in the feels.
Yeah. Hair on your chest.
All right. See you next time.